This is a brief tutorial on writing Chapter 1. First, download the template that is available to you in Sakai. Upon opening, you will see the title page as the first page of the document. You will complete this for the submission of Chapter 1. The second page is the table of contents. This is optional for you to complete, and all you would do was include the information here for Chapter 1. The abstract is not necessary at this time, and you will write this abstract at the end of the class. The introduction begins here. Again, follow this as your template. Your first paragraph to 2 paragraphs is going to be your introduction. And if you recall, you're going to introduce your topic from a very broad to a very narrow format. This will include the background of the topic of your paper, the history, any of your personal experiences, gaps in the literature, and also additional outside literature that would support your topic. You may not write first person in this section. However, if needed, you can refer to yourself as the primary researcher. Please do not get into the habit of this type of writing because it can become habitual and very awkward. It takes time to fine-tune your introduction, so sometimes it's best to outline it first and then go back to it later to finish it. You want to cite landmark studies related to your topic to provide the background to your introduction. Introductions will be 1 to 2 very lengthy, detailed paragraphs. In the next section, you will have rationale as your new heading, and you're going to briefly explain why you are doing this study. Why is it significant in the field of physical education or sport or administration or exercise science or adapted PE? And how will this information be helpful to professionals in the field? How will it extend the literature in this area? And this will be 1 paragraph. Again, no first person writing. The next section will be your purpose statement and research questions. And these will be ones that will be revised and approved from the forum discussion in Sakai. You will not need citations in this section, and it will be 1 paragraph. In the next section, you're going to have the opportunity to discuss how your values, faith, and beliefs correlate with the topic of your study. How do your values, faiths, and beliefs draw you to this topic? How will they influence you in your research? In another paragraph, you will discuss your strengths as evaluated by the Strengths Finder assessment that you performed in PE 582. Systematically discuss each of the 5 predominant strengths and explain how those relate to your research and also in your career. You may use first person writing in this section of faith integration and strengths. Please cite the Strengths Quest textbook when discussing your strengths, and plan on this section being 3 full paragraphs. In the final section, you're going to identify various terms as it relates to your topic, and you're going to provide an operational definition for these terms as you discuss them in your paper. The definitions must be scholarly and originate from primary or secondary sources, so from research articles or textbooks. They should not be defined from non-scholarly sources like WebMD or Wikipedia, and you want to make sure that you provide appropriate parenthetical citations. If you have just a few terms, you can simply define them in paragraph format. However, if you have numerous terms, you might want to use more of a list format. Let me show you an example. This is a paper here that had just a few different terms, and you can see that the writer simply wrote in paragraph format, providing the definition and then the citation at the end. You do not quote directly, you still summarize and then provide the parenthetical citation at the end of the section. Again, do not quote. This would be an example of a paper where the writer had a lot of definitions that needed to be defined, and so he provided a list format, and you can see here there was a quote. That is not ideal. It's best to summarize. Notice how he alphabetized them and provided complete sentences. So if you find that you have numerous terms to define, you can use this format. If not, you can use just regular paragraph writing. And this is the completion of Chapter 1. At the end, you would provide a reference list just as you would in any other paper, citing all of the references that you used in that section. I hope that this is beneficial to you in completing